I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the record show all members are present and Supervisor Wickman is on the phone. Can I get a motion to?
I'll make a motion.
To approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. First up is Sheriff Andy Brown, Chief Deputy Jeff Thuland, Lieutenant Rob Ambrose. Discussion and or decision to approve and award bid to Sheriff's Office expansion project. Okay, who wants to take it away? Pardon?
Yeah, we just got our bids in from the Sheriff's Office expansion that was, discussed, last year into this year, and they've come under what we had originally expected to, and I believe it's time to move forward with the expansion. So I know Lieutenant Ambrose has some numbers, or DLR has some numbers here too, so if they want to discuss that.
Sure.
Yeah, I can provide you guys a quick summary of the bids that were open on May 6th, I believe it was. So the county received 6 bids ranging from $2,728,000 for the low bidder up to $2,998,000 for the high bidder. That was the range. So we felt that was a really pretty good spread with the 6 bidders, basically plus minus 5% from the medium. Coincidentally, the 2 low bidders were tied at $2,728,000. What are the odds, right? But we did have 4 alternates priced as well. And since the low bid was below the estimated budget, we feel it appropriate for you to also award the alternates. And if you tabulate those alternates, then the low bidder would be DR Anderson Constructors, excuse me, at $2,754,200. And the second low will be Rogge General Contractors at $2,763,000, counting the alternates. So still, it's less than a $9,000 delta between the 2 low. But we have vetted the bids. We've talked to DR Anderson, and they have no problems standing behind their bid. And it's our recommendation, DR Group's recommendation, that the county accepts the low bid of DR Anderson, including the alternates 1, 2, and 4. Alternate number 3 would actually be additional monies, or it would be additional money to include alternate number 3 as well, which had to do with the canopy, existing canopy, using the existing canopy versus providing a new one. We recommend you use the existing one for consistency of appearance. So,
Who was the original builder of the jail?
Hawkins Construction, I believe, was a general. I think it was a multi-prime contract back in '97 or '99 is when it opened.
99 was open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hawkins was the overall general.
Is, and I'm just asking, and you may not know, and I guess I'll kind of ask Mitch too. Is the way I read some of this rescue stuff, the HVC and the ventilation and stuff, is that something we can pull from the project and pay for that out of that?
It didn't sound like new construction was gonna count for the HVAC part of it.
It didn't sound like it was. Well, I thought it sounded like it looked like it was forward.
We might look at it just because we're gonna upgrade what's existing on, because we're not really building a new building, it's just expansion, so we might be able to word that right, maybe we can still get it.
I thought it was for all types of facilities to do mitigation of the air and stuff.
There's like a fact and question section in there that one of the county things I was listening to, and they asked specifically about the HVAC because it does circulate air that could have COVID in it. And the kind of response back was, this really doesn't qualify unless you have the loss of revenue portion, be able to use the loss of revenue to come back and use it there. So,
Okay.
but I mean, if we can find a way to use it.
Is that similar to what you're hearing, Matt? On the HPC and stuff?
Yeah, I'm right in line with what Mitch is saying.
Okay.
So I guess part of the discussion, I mean, you need to approve this before we start having all the discussion.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
For DR Anderson.
Okay.
So part of the discussion I want to have before we totally vote, and I'll ask for a friendly amendment once we get going, but to pay for this structure, we're looking at combining, you know, some of our budget and part of your forfeiture dollars, is that correct? And I think, I don't necessarily think we have to like iron out the exact dollar amount today, but I do think it'd be helpful if we sat down and figured out what that was gonna be. And then obviously in the background of what we have going on with down south of the firing range, maybe we can kind of create, you know, joint efforts on that, just so we all have a piece of it. But I guess for the time being, Mitch, would you use, I don't have the balance sheets in front of me, but I guess are we gonna use the land fund initially to get this going, or?
Guess it hasn't been discussed yet. That would probably be the most
I think that's
logical
probably
option.
makes most sense to take it from there. We may have to do some shifting around of our budget to get the money in the right accounts, but yeah.
What kind of forfeit money do you think will go into this?
We got 1.63, I think, sitting in the fund right now, but that would drain it, obviously, if we took all of that.
Right.
So that's available.
Okay.
And I guess that would be appropriate for the sheriff and the board to have that discussion on how much they want to draw from each. I know I don't think like furniture was ever included in this.
There was a budget for it, but none of that has been
Paid for. So it'd be nice to have a little bit of money left in that thing just in case we, as you guys all know, when you build stuff, we get an overrun or we get this, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll have new office space, so you'll need new desks and stuff for there anyway. Okay. Well, I guess, you know, another comment, Rob, thank you for, you know, you've been kind of championing a lot of this, I know, with the former sheriff and on through, so thanks for the work you've done with this and DLR, and, you know, obviously the new folks that are here with getting this going, but I think it's gonna be a good thing. I mean, there's definitely a need. I mean, you know, the couple tours I've had over at the sheriff's office, you know, it's almost similar to what happened with the Council Bluffs Police Department. You know, when they had the space, it was way too small. Even for just like your CSI group, for example, they're in like a closet. That's not exactly a, you know, a good space to be doing that. And I think it'll just help everyone all around, and it'll be a good addition. So, but again, you know, the longer since I've been on this board, we've kind of kicked this one down the road a little bit. It's got a little bit more costly because of that. So, I mean, I think now's a good time, and it's great that these bids came in a lot less than we thought. So, this is definitely a good thing. So I'll leave
When
it
would
there.
they break ground?
I have no idea, but
I haven't spoken with them, but I would assume they probably mobilize pretty soon. I know the urgency for them is to be able to lock in their bid prices, especially with materials, the way there's a lot of volatility in that market right now, and
Oh, yeah.
that's their urgency right now, is to get those locked in and ordered, so.
Okay.
Does that affect your operation, day-to-day operations in some fashion or another?
It shouldn't be any worse than what it has been around here. I mean, just we'll have to probably use a different entrance at one point in time, and just getting used to the noise if we're trying to do, you know, meetings, whatever, but it's, I mean, we have alternate locations.
What do you want to call citizens or taxpayers that probably have to use a different door, maybe or
I
not?
think at one point in time, because the whole front of the, you know, the building, of course, is being built out, so
Okay.
we would have to arrange something for them to get in there, so we'll get it figured out though.
Do you have to, because when I did mine, you don't have to come in to renew for your permit to carry anymore, right?
No, it can all be done by mail, and we're still looking at a program to do it online, kind of like the treasurer does for license plates and such, but
Okay.
we just kind of wanted to wait until, you know, a couple months into the fiscal year next year to see if the, you know, constitutional carry is going to
Yeah.
affect our weapons permits, because this program we're looking at called Permitium that a couple counties in the state have already done, to just do it all virtually, online essentially. But they do require a minimum, monthly payment, of course, to get their revenue. So we just want to make sure that, we can still maintain that
Okay.
payment. So,
Okay.
and then it'll be real easy after that.
Good.
Okay.
We don't suspect them going down any at all in this area just because of the fact of, once July 1st hits, if you still want to carry out of state, you'll still have to have a Iowa permit. So, because they won't recognize our constitutional carry in Nebraska. So.
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm good. Tim, did you have anything on this?
I'm good.
The only thing I would add is that I believe that the board is going to schedule a board retreat to kind of look at where we're at and where we're going to fund some of these projects. I would only ask that the sheriff refrain from spending any money out of that drug forfeiture fund until we're able to get together as a board and figure out how we're going to fund this.
Yeah, I think that's June 14th, I think is what we're looking at now, so.
And there's no plan to spend any of that.
I'll see what I can do, Tim. I'll try my best not to spend it. So.
You're awesome, Andy.
I'll call for the vote. Unless there's any other comments.
Okay. Mr. Goldman?
I'll say it.
No, yeah, we got, first, you got any questions on regards to this?
No.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes.
Congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
You
Thanks,
guys-
guys.
You guys wanna stick with this next one for a little bit, maybe?
Do what now?
You wanna stick for this next?
Shooting range.
Just for a second?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Discussion and or decision concerning payment of $198,237.58 to the city of Council Bluffs for costs related to the Southwest Iowa 100-yard shooting range. Thank you. Addition.
Just need, I'll make a motion to approve.
Didn't Wickman second that?
I think
I
that's
don't
what
know.
he said. What'd you say, Tim?
All we're doing is approving the invoices that were sent over by the city of Council Bluffs, correct?
Yes.
Yes, well, we're approving the payment of the invoice.
Right. Well, we don't have a choice, so, yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, second by, thank you. Okay, so we have a first and a second. Yeah, and you guys received them first, right?
Yeah, they've been sent over to me and we're supposed to get automatically copied on everything and then I send them to Mitch
Yeah.
and he hands them out to the board. And we're now on every 2 weeks meetings. We have one this afternoon with them. So it's been good.
Cool.
Good.
Everything was in there, so it's good.
So, are they gonna send the bills every month? Is that what you're thinking?
I assume when they get them, they're gonna send them, and I don't know if that's on any certain timetable or not.
Okay.
I can ask that question though. I'll be with them this afternoon.
That's fine.
We'll ask it.
The project is moving and going forward right now.
Yeah, they're down there building as we speak.
Did they provide any, I don't remember really seeing a timeline when it's
They
expected.
Well,
just-
you said August.
27th,
yeah,
I
7th,
think
yeah,
now.
sounds
It
like
got
it.
moved back about 3 weeks because of Action
August of
Target.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't take that long.
Yeah, they've got the dirt work completed. That was their biggest challenge, especially in the spring with the water table as high as it is down there. They
Yeah.
had issues when, just even a half inch of rain, caused a situation because there's no water, any place for the water to drain. So, but they should be moving along a little faster now. So,
Okay.
But the architect approved a delay because of Action Target, because they were kind of in a tiff with the builders about when they could go in and when they couldn't. No big deal. It pushed it back about 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Can I ask what fund and whose budget this is coming out of,
Yeah, that's a good question.
so I can create a line item for it?
Complicated.
I know.
Just money.
You can't just pick a line.
Well, I don't know what we
I
got.
think we're
for
paying,
ours.
It's not real. I heard the auditor wanted to
I feel like we did a gaming maybe when we first agreed to it, but I don't remember. Do you have a suggestion?
Can you create a,
What was that, Tim?
Mitch, can you create a line item for that, project, and we'll just, partially fund it for, I don't know, $500,000 or so, and until the board's able to, have that retreat and put together a capital plan and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that should be fine. You just want to take the revenue out of the gaming, though, and then create the line item?
That would be fine with me.
Yeah, Tim, I think
Good
that's
with
the
that.
original account we said we were gonna do it from, so I think it'll make sense.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
it's-
obviously I wanna circle back with you guys and just talk a little bit. Maybe I'll call you this afternoon or something. When's your meeting?
2 o'clock,
I think they moved to 1:30.
1:30?
I'll reach out to you. And we'll come up with a couple ideas to present at the board retreat.
So the motion, and the second, concur on taking 198 to 3758 out of gaming.
Yeah, yep.
You concur with that, Tim? Supervisor Wickman? Okay. Any other discussion?
I'm good.
Are you good with that, Mitch?
Yeah.
Okay, Becky,
I'll work with Becky.
good? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Chance.
guys.
Have a good day.
You too.
Think about those old uniforms.
I will. Take it around.
Okay.
Quick question.
Matt Wyatt, Planning Director, discussion and or decision to approve service agreement with Field Day Development.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And Supervisor Shea,
I'll second it.
second Supervisor Schultz.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supervisor Wickman and I met with Andrea Cathall, owner of Field Day, and she came up with that scope of work for us. That was added in underneath of Article 3 in the document. They should have been put in your Dropbox for you, and it really kind of goes through the parts that they're going to complete with us, including they're going to create and manage the detailed schedule of the project. So once we get this approved and signed over to them, then they'll get that project schedule over to us, and we'll be in for regular updates as we move through with the project. Because obviously there will be a couple of things we need to settle on. One of them being, which area we're going to construct this building at. We're going to do it where the services building is at, or we're going to do it where the current meter parking lot's at, and then just making sure that we have all of our funding in place for it. So,
What's that do for us logistic wise and stuff, and
correct.
conceptually, what's it look like if they would lay something out in both spots or such? The only things I've seen in this agreement is, I don't know, maybe you guys had discussion on this, but expenses over $50 will be approved in writing in advance by Pot County. Is that the right number, $50?
Yeah, we'll approve everything as it goes along. I mean, you want those things. I mean, it's as much like the project that you're seeing now with the shooting range, how you all want to be kept aware of those different expenses and things that come through. You just don't want invoices sent to you.
Right.
So that'll all be a part of our working together to get the project done, to make sure that we're approving the expenses as they come through, making sure the board's informed of the expenses as they come through.
Well, and then there's a not to exceed number, right? Does that include the expenses too then, or?
No, the not to exceed part is what we're going to not exceed paying Field Day unless we come back to you all for more funding for it.
But does that include the $50 stuff or not? The not to exceed number just is for personnel. Follow me? Is that all two numbers?
It'll be total cost, Scott.
That includes the $50 stuff?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, thank you. And then the only other thing I saw, this is probably a Matt question. Well, I guess not you, Matt.
Matt Wilbur.
Matt Wilbur question. It said that under Article 9 that field day is with insured and licensed to do business in Nebraska, minimum insurance coverage. So I don't. They're going to do business in Iowa, I assume. And I assume they're licensed and insured to do it over here, right?
With the projects that they've done over here, I would assume so, but I will go back and correct that with Andrea and.
And then the other one, Matt may want to have, I don't know, did you see the agreement, Matt? Okay. It says this agreement will be governed by and construed in accordance with the laws of the state of Nebraska, which we probably don't.
That's not unusual. If they're headquartered in Nebraska, that's not really a problem. I mean, I don't know that we have like vastly different laws regardless, but it's when you've got companies that are headquartered in one place, it's not unusual that their contracts want you to litigate any issues that arise under there. I mean, we need to make sure they have insurance. I don't know that there's any special, I guess this is different, maybe they're kind of, I mean, you want to make sure that they're okay to do business in Iowa and that their insurance is fine over here, but the choice of law clause is not a problem.
Okay. That's the only things I saw in it. I didn't know. Legal was concerned with them or not. Okay, we got a motion, a second. Is there any other questions? Tim, you got any more questions or?
No, the only thing I would say is I really appreciate the effort of Matt Wyant and getting the deliverables into that contract and spending some time with me to get that taken care of. So I appreciate that very much, Matt.
Okay.
You're welcome, Tim.
Good. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, next up is purchase of vehicle to replace inspector vehicle in planning department. Matt.
So move.
Second.
Okay.
The first thing I want to make sure the board's aware of is that I don't make a habit of having to come in here and buy vehicles because they don't make it through to their lifespan. I know the last time, and I'm not talking about the van, I'm talking about the previous inspector's vehicle before, didn't make it all the way to the next budgeted year where we had budgeted funds to replace the vehicle. We try to get the most out of these vehicles that we can. The last cycle that we had gone through, we had, when we switched into these smaller type SUVs, we had gone with these Chevy Equinoxes. And it's becoming really apparent that they don't necessarily make it past 120,000 miles without needing some major repairs to them. And so this vehicle has kind of come up towards the end of its lifespan, and we parked it to try and make it through. But with construction and everything picking back up, we are kind of in that position where we need a vehicle for the inspector to be out there in. And so I had him go down to look at, we've had good luck with these little Ford Escapes. They're all-wheel drive. They do well in the wintertime for us. And we're coming up on our first one that's really going to be crossing the 100,000 mile threshold to them. But with this day and age, you know, we should get quite a few more miles out of them. It's just this gravel is very hard on these vehicles, and that's what they spend most of their time on is gravel roads and getting to these properties. So we do the best we can. This one was a 2014, so to make it to 2021, pretty proud of it.
So was this vehicle in one of our bond issues, Matt, or where did this?
You had talked about that you were going to, yes, bond for it in this, and I don't know if you guys already issued those bonds or how that part of it works, but you were gonna.
Yep, it's on the list.
I think
Haven't issued it yet.
Pardon?
Yeah, it's on the list to be on the next round of bonds.
I mean, you got money to make the transaction at least now, right? And then we'll.
We do, correct.
Oh, it's on the list of the new one?
Yep, that I gave to Maggie.
Okay.
Did you just have one on the list or
What was the number we
just had one.
5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the bonded amount was 25,000, but the actual price of the vehicle is only gonna be $20,447.
And then are you trading one or?
That's correct. They're giving us the trade allowance in here, they're giving us $5,000 for the vehicle.
Okay. Any other discussion? None? Mr. Bilby, none? Tim, you got anything else?
No, I just think it's, Matt and his team do a really good job trying to get everything they can out of those vehicles, and I think they finally realized moving from a Chevy to a Ford was probably the right move.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes.
Thanks,
Okay,
Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick before you go, what did they end up finishing up on Saturday? Did they end up that big rush at the end there then?
Yeah, we did. We got a pretty good rush at 3:30. We finished up right at 4 o'clock. They're down there right now. We just took our first load moving out of the Mid-America Center. They're down there getting our second load of items out of there. We'll store the things in the recycling center. The majority of it will get stored at the recycling center, and then we do have some of it that's getting stored over here at the annex building. We'll probably hold most of that stuff in storage for at least a year. See if anything comes, we happen to have to utilize it again after that, then we'll disperse it out. If you happen to go by the VA clinic last night, right at 4 o'clock, you can kind of see how the popularity in that site's already picking up. We had a line out the door. I think we did just over 60 individuals down there, and this is still just kind of spreading by word of mouth. So went to Tri-Center High School yesterday and did over 60 kids, which totally impressed me for being up at Tri-Center, and they had it open to the public as well, so we did some public members as well. But the 12 to 15-year-old age group seemed to be a real popular age group of kids getting in there to get their shots. And
They're over at the vets, they're doing prime and second, right?
that's great. You come to the VA building down there, you can do your prime dose, you can do your boost dose if you need, and we can do either or. If you need Pfizer, you need Moderna, we want to make it as simple as possible as we can for people. You can walk in or you can schedule online. Our new scheduling system will kick off at the end of this week. Would have been nice out at the MAC because it's all electronic consent forms, but better late than never.
Are we doing any Johnson & Johnson?
We are not doing any Johnson & Johnson. We're just passing that off to our pharmacy partners. It's more suited for that kind of environment.
All right.
Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it, Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
Okay. D, John Rasmussen, County Engineer, discussion of decision to approve resolution number 37-21 to revise the county 5-year program.
Sure. So there's a resolution to revise the plan, and what we did there was we brought in some EWP, which is emergency watershed repairs. We got that funding from the 2019 flood. We're just getting all those projects wrapped up this year. So that comes into that resolution. A couple day labor bridges that we changed the order on, I fixed those as well. And L66 is let in July instead of June, so that moved to another fiscal year. So that's the change in the resolution. The budget's the same as your current budget. We did add in, EWP comes with a cost share. So on the first page there, number 8, miscellaneous receipts, there's a Hungry Canyons line where we put in 1.125 million in there for the revenues from the EWP structures. So there's some revenues and the projects are changing. Was that in your packet?
No. Well, the sheet down.
There should have been 2 pieces in your packet. One was a resolution, the other one was just.
This first sheet is the following projects shall be modified as.
Yeah, that's the resolution.
Pardon?
Accomplished for.
This is the 2021 county 5-year program resolution 3721.
Yes, and that's the one that moves the projects. So in there, we didn't have the EWP projects in there, so those were added.
Okay, so down here at the bottom of this, it says accomplishment year, and then local, farm to market, special, swap, federal aid, totals. And then it says, you know, previous amount, new amount, net change. So, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, so, the local new amount of 3,275,000, is that the EWP money?
Yeah, the EWP is, we got about 1.7 million there. Then there's, about 400,000 the local bridges.
And that's
Okay.
EWT?
EWP, yeah.
So the net change is from that local, and is the 2,045,000, right?
Yeah, that should be the local plus the EWP.
Okay.
There's some projects we're not doing, I didn't reduce those. I
Okay.
could have wrote them out, but I didn't, I guess.
No, I see, okay. So then the farm to market, you had 4,800,000, and there's no new amount. So you
That was
still,
L66, got moved from the June letting to the July, so it changed fiscal years for me. So the
okay,
4.8 and that swap, both those monies go to that project and they got moved to a new
okay,
year.
okay. Gotcha. Okay. And then on the other, oh shoot, that went away. Back.
Then on the budget part, we got into some of the EWPs and we overran those about 500,000 on rock down in the creeks, but with the cost share in those, we thought we'd better just go for it if it wasn't on us. So the auditor's budget, I believe we need to amend for 700,000, but this is just the DOT. And they call it a revision instead of amendment for some reason, but so we changed the expenditures in that and added in the revenues that we didn't show previously.
That's where I was, shoot, those revenues, are those projected? Lost, jumped off my screen.
Yeah,
So-
those are estimated because we don't have complete costs on those projects yet, so.
So you had, local option for next, current year, is that the current year we're in that finishes in less than 2 months, I guess? The 2.4,
Yeah.
is that right? And then the next year, we're thinking local option's gonna jump to 3.7?
I didn't catch that because we didn't adjust that line, so I don't have my, my budget with me to check that. I thought we ran 2.4 next year as well.
Okay,
I thought it only showed the lines we adjusted. I can double check that one.
okay. And then you down here, you have facility bond lost, of 3.6.
Oh, I see what's going on. So this is changing my budget that we made well over a year ago. So I didn't go back and, I didn't fix everything that hasn't happened in the last fiscal year. But
Okay,
keep in mind, we made this of April and 19.
okay,
Yeah, the intent here was only to increase those revenues.
okay. So we're going to, do this resolution, and then we're gonna have to do a budget amendment, is that what I heard you say?
If you just approve this revision that works for the DOT, then I think we're still kind of talking through a budget amendment
We're looking at it.
for the auditor's budget. It's,
Before the end of the June?
Yeah.
Do we need to change the numbers on this that we were just talking about?
I don't think so. It's projected revenues. I mean, they're all based on projections anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Becky, you're okay with that?
I don't think she knows the
Not
DOT
the
budget is.
DOT part, I don't know anything
Okay.
about that.
I have like 3 different budgets I juggle and it's all the same numbers, so.
Can I get a motion
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
to approve and authorize the board to sign resolution number 37-2021 to revise the county 5-year program. So, motion by Schultz and seconded by Supervisor Shea. Any other discussion? Mr. Roby, any other discussion? No questions. Tim, you got any questions?
Nope, I took a look at it. It's pretty self-explanatory, spending some money on the EWP projects and moving L66, so
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. Roll call?
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisors Wickman,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Shay.
Aye.
Okay, then we need a motion to approve and authorize chairman to sign Iowa DOT budget revision.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second it. Okay. Supervisor Schultz, Supervisor Roby. Any discussion with that?
Nope.
And we just discussed that, right, John?
Yeah,
That's what we
it's
just.
a regular motion.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Okay, thanks, John.
And
Thank you, John.
John, will you check, I know I sent you a text, but can you
Yeah, I
check
guess.
into that?
Check what?
That 192nd Street's a disaster right now.
Well, it's not
When did they
because of water.
close it?
Well,
They have that water crossing there.
they didn't do a very good job fixing the crossing, and then I just think it's all taken a beating. Anyway, if you could check into that, that'd be great.
Is the connection all done then?
Yeah, I
The
believe
water
so.
line connection's done, that just didn't look like they put everything back, but I
So
think
like
it's
one
signed
line.
down to a single lane,
Okay,
and it's money, I guess.
okay. Sounds good. Discussion and or
Thank you, John.
decision regarding resolution 96, 2020. Oh, wow. Okay,
This is the mask mandate.
yes.
Does this need to be repealed altogether, or is it just that provision within it?
I would think we repeal it, right?
I don't know what it exactly says, so if you're asking me that question.
Here you go.
It's the one that was approved by the board.
Basically
I think we
implemented all
rescinded
COVID
it.
measures, and now we're gonna relax the.
When Garfield left, I thought he was staying.
He had a phone call.
What we had talked about, was it, were we gonna change it, amend it to say voluntary, or masks are recommended?
I think we just say that it's voluntary.
Voluntary.
If you're uncomfortable, wear a mask.
So then do you amend that?
I think this, if you read the resolution,
Can I take a look at it real quick?
Yeah, here you go.
I would think we rescind it and then just put something on the door that says voluntary.
Like, I'm okay with them even leaving the ones that say recommended up on the doors, but I mean. I
Yeah,
just-
it's not
I think
required.
it's part of, exactly. That's the big key here, is we gotta pull that requirement back.
Yeah, I don't think you need a resolution to say people are voluntarily able to wear masks. So
I don't think
I think
so
if you're
either.
looking to get rid of the mandate, I think it's just rescind it rather than try
I
to
make a motion
monkey
to
with the
rescind.
language.
There's Garfield there.
No,
So, is the motion to repeal it? Is that what you're saying, Matt?
That's what I would do. Yeah, I'd say make a motion to repeal or rescind. I don't know that that makes a difference, but
Okay.
if you're looking to get rid of it, there's nothing that I mean, it's already voluntary. You know, we don't say you're prevented from doing it. If you had to do something like that, it'd be different. Getting rid of it just makes it voluntary.
Garfield, you got any concerns about this?
No, I don't, It's about the resolution?
Yes.
No, I have no concerns, and the reason being because I think we got all the engineering controls in place, within the courthouse. And I think part of this was a layer of the engineering controls. We got the speed cards, we keep 6 feet distance, and a lot of employees had the opportunity to get their vaccine and stuff like that. So if we do have employees that doesn't have vaccine, you know, we still have the 6 feet distance in the office spaces. We have speed cards in place. We have all the barriers in place to protect the employees here in the county. So, and that's throughout all the county.
So the 6 feet at the treasurer's office will still be in place?
Say again?
The 6 feet distance for those lined up at the treasurer's office?
That is correct. Their spots are 6 feet apart.
Okay.
So, and then they have a barrier in between the customers and.
And this applies to the public too, not just the
We can
employees.
encourage the public to stay 6 feet distance, but we can't make it mandatory that they stay
Right.
6 feet distance. So.
I think society's changed throughout this country and the world, and they're very aware of the 6-foot distance and the mask. I would make a motion to rescind
Second.
Resolution 96, 2020.
I'll make the second one.
Okay. Second, Schultz. Resolution.
People are uncomfortable, they can,
Yeah, just wait for
they
you
can
guys.
wear a mask.
Is that,
It's gonna be uncomfortable because others aren't wearing masks.
is
If they want it, they want it.
Yeah,
is that a roll call?
I would think so, since it's a resolutionary thing.
Any other discussion? Tim, you got any discussion?
No, I'll have a comment after the vote.
Okay.
Okay, Chairman Wickman, Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisors Groby,
Yes.
Schultz,
Aye.
Shay,
Aye.
Wickman.
Aye. Scott, in line with this discussion, is Garfield still in?
Yes, I am. Yes, sir.
What are we gonna do, what are we doing with the cleaning contract? Are we eliminating that too?
My recommendation would be yes, to eliminate that contract as well. I think we have enough, the employees has to clean the materials and everything to keep the area sanitized. We have, the cleaning crew comes in every night, so I think that's a sufficient amount to keep the employees safe when it comes to that.
Does that contract, the eliminating that contract, does that come through risk management or public health?
Or buildings and grounds.
It's building the grounds. That's the same cleaning services that comes every night to clean the courthouse. Building the grounds just extended that services to cover this for this epidemic. So we can contact Jason at Building the Grounds and say, hey, we no longer need those services for as the staff throughout the whole day.
Do we need a resolution for that next week? No?
Nope, I think
Jason can just alter the comment. You can
All
alter
right.
the service.
yeah, you just have to give them a notification that those services no longer needed.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay with doing that if the rest of the board is.
I am.
Yeah, no, I think we're fine. I mean, I think what they already provide us with the nightly service is plenty, so I think we'll be okay. I mean, I realize I don't think it was a contract deal. I think it was just.
I'm in agreement. Yeah, I think it's the regular annual contract that Jason has with them, and they just added some additional services. So it's not really a contract, but it's just.
As needed.
As needed, right.
Okay.
And I can get with Jason as well to relay that to him.
Okay.
Thanks, Garfield.
Yep. Okay. So are you, I know you pulled the signs down and stuff. Are we changing anything at the temperature things are going? Are they gonna go away? Are they?
I think the
I think they've
I
already,
think
yeah.
they're long gone.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the
They
front.
there, but I think they can go away as well too.
Okay, they were sitting there up front, so.
Where are they gonna go? I mean, are they belong to us or they lease?
No, they belong to us, so we will either give them to public health or we can get, and put them in storage if we ever need them again. I mean, they're our products, so.
Okay.
Or we can auction them off.
Nobody wants it, everybody's going away with it.
Well, they.
Tablet, isn't it? It's just
I
like
think
an iPad
that
or
it looked like it,
Take it.
was it?
It's a type of tablet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a tablet, so.
When I came in today, and I don't know if they did it yesterday, but on the radio that Hy-Vee announced that anybody and their employees that have been vaccinated don't have to wear a mask, and then the customers that don't have to wear a mask, so they really started to, there was a whole list of them on the news last night that announced they were not required.
So with those tablets, being that we went through David IT, I'll make sure that he gets them and then he can pretty much wipe those tablets, make sure there's nothing on there for security wise, but I already know that they already eliminated that, that potential issue, so, but I will turn them over to him and make sure that they're clean.
Good move.
So.
We just had the two of them.
There's one at the
But
jail.
we had the two here, the jail has, two, and I think the sheriff department has two, so I think we have a total of 6 in the county.
Okay.
So,
those tablets can be, I mean, they're not even a year old, are they?
no. I will see what IT recommendation would be for those tablets and go from there.
Okay, well, that could be a good, I guess, a good community deal if we're not using them. I don't know what they could be used for, but maybe we can get them to one of the schools or one of the programs or something. You know, I doubt they're gonna give us much back in value for them, so.
Yeah, I think they was purchased overseas, the software that's on them, so I'm not sure.
Okay, were they Apple or not?
I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think they're apples.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, thank you, Garfield.
You're welcome.
Anything else with that, Tim?
Nope, I'm good with that.
Okay. Discussion and/or decision regarding an elected official department head retreat. Jana?
Ready? Good morning. So we're looking at changing the date to June 14th. That seems to be working much better for our group. Still looking at having it at Hitchcock. I have a gentleman bringing up a menu today for me to go ahead and take a look at what that would cost. So really, I think what I'm asking the board is for approval on, yes, the retreat for June 14th. I'm looking for a budget of approximately $4,000 because I don't know what the facilitator is going to cost yet. I have a couple that haven't returned my email or voicemail yet. So if we can, keep it under 4,000, absolutely. Yes.
What time?
Oh, what time? I am thinking probably 9 to 3:30.
Okay.
Because I think, some people need to do a little work before we get started, that kind of thing.
Some people have an hour and a half drive to Hitchcock.
Quit it. Just quit it. I drive out to Oakland all the time.
Oh, where's it gonna be at?
At Hitchcock.
Oh, Hitchcock, okay.
50 minutes.
Huh?
I think it's like 50 minutes.
Hit the gas.
But then before that, what I was wondering is if the board, if the 5 of you would like to have your own kind of get together, whether you call it a study session, whether you call it a retreat, next Tuesday after the board meeting, just to get yourselves orientated or whatever you want to call it before the department head retreat.
I think that's a perfect idea.
I will not be here, everybody.
That's right, you won't be here next Tuesday, the 25th? Okay.
So you, what, I am sorry, what did you just say?
just for the 5 or 4, because Lynn can't be here on Tuesday, the 25th, to have a study
You
session.
could call in, Lynn,
Where are you gonna meet at, in here?
in here. You could call in like Tim was, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, we can set it up.
That way you're aware of what's happening.
Could I use that number that you gave Tim?
Yep, yep,
And that would bring it in up there?
yep.
Okay, I'll do that.
The 25th?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Mitch, will you work with Andrew to put that on the agenda for the 25th? And then, so do we need a vote for the retreat on the 14th for the date and the budget? And then where would the money be coming from? Which line item would it be coming from?
So you could just do it out of, recommendation, but I would just, because technically we have the chairman lined up, it's part of his official duties anyway, to line the meeting up, and then the budget can come out of the board's budget.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have to vote on it.
Yeah, that's why I was just
Okay.
looking, you didn't send sheet today, did you?
No, I
The balance sheet.
ran it, I will get it to you this
You got,
afternoon.
did you have one there that you read? Okay.
This is the whole thing. all the
Okay, I'm just curious, so
Where are you
I
looking to
think
eat,
we're-
Jana?
I think we're in pretty good shape with our
Do
budget.
you want to take it out of that employee
The
recognition
food truck?
Cattle
line
drive.
item?
Cattle Drive.
Cattle drive.
Yep.
Food truck.
Cattle Drive food truck. He's out of trainer because I wanted someone within the county.
Okay. But we're in
Barbecue.
good shape, I think.
Yeah,
Steak sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Best steak sandwiches.
I
I've
hear
had
they're
in my life.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
We had them down at Sire.
Did you?
Weeks ago, yeah, they're real good. They're
Yeah.
really good.
The board budget, right?
Yep.
Just take it out of the board budget.
Yeah, you can actually, if Andrew just creates an agenda for that day, you've covered your bases.
Sounds great.
So the agenda
That'll do good, Jana. That'll help everybody.
for the
It'll be nice.
14th,
Yeah.
the retreat, and then it's no decisions, right?
We shouldn't need to make.
Yeah, because it'll just come out of your budget, then there's no decision, right?
No, but I mean,
Oh.
the retreat.
I don't think we're gonna vote on anything, we're just gonna kind of create goals and game plan. Isn't that?
Then
that's
if-
fine?
Right.
If we make, then we'll, at a regular meeting, accept the,
Yeah, we could probably just do like that the next day or the,
Right.
15th on a regular
Yep.
meeting.
Yeah, if there were things that needed to vote, then it would go in a regular Tuesday meeting.
I guess that worked, depending on what time you get the meeting, but yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Tim, you got anything on the retreat?
No, I think the board retreat, or the department head retreat on the 14th is gonna be fine. I spoke with Mitch yesterday, and I think he is going to put some things together for the study session next Tuesday, and I look forward to that.
Okay,
So do I.
okay. So, did we get a motion on the retreat by anybody?
I'll make a motion if we need it.
We don't need it, but that's.
We
all
don't?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, next up is discussion and/or decision to approve and authorize chairman to sign engagement letter with Allers and Cooney PC.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Wickman, thank you. Tim, seconded by Supervisor Schultz. Discussion?
Yeah, is Matt Wilbur still in the boardroom?
Yes.
Hey, do we need to, what can we expect for costs on this, Matt?
I have no clue on that. I mean, I'm guessing 10 grand, but that is just total guess. Jenna, do you disagree?
No, yeah, I would agree. If I had to guess, I would guess 10 grand as well. And this agreement, we don't pay anything unless we need it, unless we utilize her hours. So we're not agreeing to pay, a certain retainer fee or anything like that. It's just if we need it, we have it ready in case we need it.
And honestly, in today's...
Anna, would you visit with Ahlers and Cooney and just kind of give us, a customary cost or
$250
guess
an hour.
where we're at?
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I will tell you that I looked through it, and even though it seems like a lot, in today's market, their hourly rate is actually very reasonable, that they're looking for this contract. I mean, I've seen them quite a bit higher. I was surprised, honestly. It was, I think it's like $250 an hour.
Right.
That's
Honestly,
what it is.
I've seen it in the fours, even for this type of work. I mean, I've seen attorneys at $900 an hour for different kinds, but,
Matt,
this
are
is
you doing any work on this? None, okay.
I'll help with the mediations up to that point, because that we can do for free, but
All right,
I sort of know what I'm competent at and what I'm not competent at. I may sort of just monitor this, because it may be one that going forward in future years, assuming that I, can watch the process as this goes, then I might next year, 2 years down the line, say I feel comfortable and I can handle it in-house. So I'm certainly willing to do that anyway.
a big man to be able to do that.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, I know what I know and I know what I don't know. I do not know, this type of work.
All right. So we got a motion and a second?
Yeah,
Motion second.
that gets us,
Call for vote?
are we authorizing, up to 10 grand, and they gotta come back? We have that do we have that, did you have something in your budget for,
Me?
yeah?
This would come out of the board's budget.
Okay. We have a fund in there for, we have a fund in there for legal services, or?
I'm pretty sure you
Yeah,
do.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
There's a line item there.
How much, any idea how much is in there? Is it 25? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you guys, first and second agree to come out of the board budget, so.
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion passes. Next
Thank you,
up.
Janet.
Next up, we have Becky Linehan, Finance and Tax Officer, Auditor's Office, discussion or decision to approve, disallow the following applications made to the Assessor's Office. There was military, 113 recommended for homestead, 0 disallowed, military 17 recommended, 2 recommended disallowed. Disability, veterans, homestead, 6 recommended, 0 disallowed. Business property tax credit, 9 recommended, 1 disallowed, and 8 family farm recommended, 0 disallowed.
I'll make the motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Supervisor Schultz and seconded by Supervisor Shea. Discussion? Any discussion? Tim, you got any discussion on that?
No, I just appreciate putting the reason for the disallowed ones, making that available to the board so we don't have to ask all the time. So I think that was well done.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, next up, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Schultz, Shea, any discussion?
I had a question.
Right.
I went to Hancock to the meeting the other night, and they wanted to know why they can't drive their four-wheelers in the park. Do you know?
To the state park?
No, conservation.
The county park, yeah.
I think they can if they're licensed.
I think they just have to be registered and then they should be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know a little bit about that, like now you can drive in like certain city streets. Like I know I just saw a friend of mine just got a permit to drive in Oakland. But you have to register with the state, then you have to register with the county, then you have to register with the city, and they all have maybe different requirements. So I'm sort of guessing that these might be state registered ATVs that have not yet met the county registration requirements. I don't know what those are, that's not my bailiwick.
They have to do the cities?
Yeah, because it's, to drive on city streets, they have to basically be street legal. I mean, there has to be like lights and, I mean, horns, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things. So for you to have an ATV that you could get registered with the state,
It cost about $30,000.
it'll add a lot, you know, the requirements to get them to be street legal are more
But
significant.
wouldn't that be covered under the state law too?
State's got different, you know, to just drive an ATV around doesn't take much. When you want to put it on roads, it takes a lot more. So that's why they have different.
When we went through this in McClellan, the state defers it to the cities and to the counties to make whatever roads they want available. Now, four-wheelers, not the ATVs, not the side-by-sides, those have to be a 16-year-old licensed driver, and it has to be sunrise to sunset, and they have to have a flag to make them legal for the state of Iowa.
And they have to have a what?
A flag on them.
Flag, oh.
That's all you need for those. Yeah, to get them in the cities, it's different, so.
Thank you.
Well, you wanna probably ask Mark,
Yes, Mark.
Conservation, what they're doing there.
Maybe they've got something.
Well,
I would think
his,
they know.
his is a, his
It's
is
their
a,
parks that they're running, so they would
Right.
certainly know.
his is a little unique because that park is actually probably inside the city limits of Hancock.
It is, yes.
So, it would have to, Hancock would need to probably pass a similar,
The city people were asking me.
right, no, they would probably need to pass a similar resolution or ordinance that we passed.
Scott, but most of the little cities have adopted the county ordinance
Well,
on those.
I don't know.
I know Crescent did. So, did you guys?
We did too.
Yeah, so,
Because, basically, because what we wanted to do was, we wanted to say that every street in McClellan was fine. Because otherwise, it was only the farm to market roads. Or, any city could pick what other roads they wanted or not wanted them on too. And so
But
we did a whole blanket things that the whole
I think
city's
the
fine.
county is everything but state and federal highways, correct?
Right.
Yes.
So like, okay,
But I think the city of Hancock probably needs to adopt an ordinance.
to
Yeah,
adopt
but
the,
that doesn't necessarily overrule county park rules. Because the parks are gonna have their own rules.
Right, but I think they're allowed in, I'm guessing in his parks, but I don't know that.
It's probably a
He's
Fenner
gonna
rule.
get people that come to camp there that are gonna have those, without a doubt.
So I best go ask Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. We are adjourned. We off
All right,
now.
thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tim.